considering participating in a charity bazaar, seasonal fair at your local community or workspace? If you're a beginner, I believe you think like, I don't know what to show there, I'm not good enough. Let's talk about how the participation in those type of events might be fun, confidence boosting and extremely meaningful. Hey everybody, if you're new to my channel, my name is Christina. I juggle a full-time job and my own art journey, and here I share the honest parts of learning art as a self-taught artist. This year at my office we are organizing a Christmas charity bazaar, and I am planning to participate with some of my art. You can have a local community which is organizing a seasonal fairs, or maybe your hometown has some sort of events open to public and everybody can participate, and those are amazing chances for you to put yourself out there and to show your art to the public. But the moment you feel like, okay, I may participate, this is where usually the fear kicks in. I have the same struggle myself. I start thinking, what can I offer? I'm just not good enough. I'm not well-established artist. I feel like I'll be embarrassed and people are going to basically and literally laugh at my art. But something that I've learned, especially after my first participation in such type of events, people are very much appreciating the things that we don't appreciate that much as artists. I've heard warm words about my drawings that I thought that they have so many things that I can improve in them, but you know, I had them in prints and I showed them anyway, and people were like, oh my goodness, that's so good. Is it really? I'm not sure I believe you. Actually, that helps us really boost our confidence at some extent, just because we see how people interact and react towards our drawings, and that's amazing. So in this video I'm going to walk you through my process of preparation for the event, what I've decided to bring there, and how that might be helpful for you if you decide to participate in such events in the future. So here is the thing, opportunities like charity bazaars, local fairs or some seasonal events are gold, especially for beginners or people who don't have experience in showing their work. Usually those places are very low pressured, they are very supportive and nobody expects you to be an expert of something. That's a perfect practical stage, I would say, that you can use in order to improve yourselves. We are not improving our art before showing up, we are actually improving because showing up our art. So I really believe that seeing how people interact with your art is an incredible source of information, what type of art actually speaks to people, especially if you're thinking about at some stage in the future to monetize your art. That's definitely something that you can get for free when you participate in those type of events. Okay, so let's go to the fun part, deciding what to bring to those events. If you're like me, your first thought is going to be like, Jesus, I have no idea what to bring. I don't have anything useful and relatable, all that jazz. But let's see what usually and generally works well on those type of events. Colorful pieces, they stand out pretty well. The second thing is having simple, clear objects. For example, some cute animals, or maybe tiny cute houses, or maybe some seasonal theme. For example, now is the Christmas season, so anything related to Christmas is going to be woohoo! Everybody will want that. Although, if you have different type of illustrations, for example, some simpler, some more complex, you can bring them both and just to see how people react. And actually that's going to give you a lot of information for the future. Feel good and uplifting vibes is something that is always trendy. When you go to those type of events, it's very key to know your audience. It's more like a business here, you know, but if you want to monetize your art in the future, it's very important to know your audience. You can just think about what type of people are going to come and what kind of people are going to see your artwork. So for example, for the charity bazaar at my workspace, I can tell for sure that most of my colleagues, they are in their 30s and they have more or less small kids. And because my art is childlike illustrations of cute animals, they're going to work pretty well with the audience, which are my colleagues, because they might decide to take some of my arts for decoration of the kids' rooms, for example, or maybe to make gifts for other kids. I believe my things are going to work well. But if you don't know your audience, for example, you are going to participate in an event which is going to have way broader audience, What I can suggest is to bring variety the first time. Basically, bring everything. It's important to see how people react, just to know what actually speaks to people and what is going to sell better. I believe it's very important, especially when we are in the early stage of showing our art and seeing how it goes with all those selling art, being an artist thing. Yeah. Okay, so let's assume that you've already decided what type of artwork you're going to bring to those events. For example, I decided that I'm going to bring few type of prints, but I'm going to also bring Christmas cards and I'm going to bring enamel mugs. I've printed a lot of enamel mugs with my art. For example, that one is a corgi mug. I have one that's with a llama. For example, that one, I really like snowboarding, so I've created that one as well. Of course, if you have any other idea of things that you can create and bring to those type of events, go for it. You can bring, for example, bookmarks for different occasions. Maybe you can draw on some wooden ornaments. For example, now for the Christmas season, it's perfect. So basically the options are limitless and it depends on you what you want to create. Now is the Christmas season and of course everything is Christmassy and related with the holidays. But for example, if that event that you're going to participate, it's in the autumn season or during the summertime, it might be when it's an Easter time, just to draw some Easter illustrations. Or maybe if it's the summertime, you can always draw some waves, seashells, etc. I'm going to focus on how to make prints because I have experience in that area and I can give you some insights of how I printed my artworks for those type of fairs. And I draw pretty much digitally. I have all my artworks in my tablet and I decide which I'm going to use, which are presentable and maybe relatable with people. After that, I've checked if they are A4 size. For me, A4 is the standard size of printables. If you look at the previous Instagram where everything needs to be in a square size, you may imagine that most of my artwork was not in A4 size. And I'm going to show you what I did with those files. That's the gallery with all my illustrations. And when I want to select an illustration, I just slide to the left and select share. And I share that illustration in the PSD format to my Google Drive so I can download it later on my laptop. Once I'm on the laptop, I open Photoshop. I need to create an A4 size canvas and I just need to copy and paste the illustration on that canvas and resize it in order to fit in. Most of my illustrations have solid background with only one color, so it's way easier to resize the illustration without any specific changes. But if you have more complicated illustrations where you have your drawing from corner to corner, then you may need to update your drawings or even redraw part of your illustration in order to fit into the A4 size. And when I'm done with the resizing, I save the file in PSD format and in PDF format for the agency to print the artwork. Once we had all our artworks prepared in A4 size, I put it in a flash drive and I went to the print shop. Now, when we talk about printing and the paper, I would suggest that you can use something between 200 and 300 GSM paper. I would say my rule is the thicker, the better. I usually try to print my artworks on the 300 GSM, but if by some reason it's not possible, 250 or maybe 200 is the least that I really want to print on. And I can show you some of my experiments because the first time when I go to the print shop, I've tried a lot of paper. Those are all different type of papers. Some are pretty creamy, very scratchy, and you can see how the artwork looks on those type of paper. It looks really dull, so the colors are not very visible, and of course, depending on the paper, the colors are going to be represented in different ways. So that, for example, is way better, but still the colors are pretty dull here as well. That one is also pretty creamy, and you can see that the colors are having that kind of a yellow reddish gradient, and I really didn't feel like it's gonna work. Some of the papers may work with different artworks because of the colors, but I wanted to find a paper which is going to be universal for all my artworks. Otherwise, I have to decide each time at what paper I need to print, and that's going to make the process pretty tedious. After all those examples and tests that I've did, I decided that I'm going to use that paper. I don't know if you can see, it's matte paper, it's not scratchy. I really liked how the colors end up on the paper, that's why I decided I want that. But keep in mind that choosing the paper is gonna be hit and miss the first time until you find the perfect paper for all your artworks. What else you can do in order to make the packaging more presentable and more like you're a professional? I'm going to show you the things that I use, and let me know in the comments if you like to make more detailed video about the packaging, because I'm going just to briefly show you what I do, and if you want to know more, just let me know and I'll make another video about it. The first thing is to have a cardboard that is 430 GSM. It just goes behind your print and it makes it way more steady. This is the cardboard. And those are pretty cheap. I will put a link to Amazon for those things to check. And of course we are going to need some paper envelopes in order to put our prints on and to make the final package more presentable. So those are the regular paper envelopes that I use. Those again are pretty cheap. I bought them a long time ago, so I need to check the prices again, but I remember that they were cheap and I guess they are still. And the other thing that you can do in order to make those not only well packaged but more like branded on a budget, I made a few prints with boxes like that. Thank you for purchasing, and my links to social media, Etsy shop, etc. And then I just cut them all and put each of those in each package. This is how they look like when they're cut. Of course, that's pretty optional, to be honest, but I think it's a good touch and it adds to your branding more or less. And the other thing that I have are those small pieces. Of course, those were again put on bigger paper, but I don't have one to show you now. In A4 size, and I just print them and then cut them. I just glue those on the back side of the envelope that I showed you earlier in order to make my final package. As I said, if we're on a budget, especially if we go to charity bazaars, then I think those are pretty much enough and they are going to bring that branding value to your presentation and your illustrations. And that's gonna be enough for a very long time, I would say. So you can build up on those ideas in the future, but for the first attempt, I would say those are more than enough. So let me know in the comments if you want to make more detailed video about how to create those ideas. And one more thing, if you have social media, always put reels about your process of packaging your prints, showing your table setup for the events. Show everything in order to feel yourself more like an artist rather than a beginner. It's going to build your inner confidence with time, although it might seem at first that why I'm doing this, I'm just a beginner and I'm trying to put myself in a different spotlight, let's say. But actually you are preparing yourself for the next stage. Show that you are there, you're showing yourself and your work. And honestly, that's a very healthy version of fake it till you make it mindset. You're not showing yourself as somebody who you are not, but rather you are shifting your mindset towards you are improving and building in the role of artist who is showing its work. I really hope that was useful and gives you more confidence about show yourself out there. You don't know what people will relate to and how many people are actually find that artwork of yours valuable. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to apply in any of those type of events, or maybe if you have past experience. I'll be curious to learn more about those experiences and what you've learned from those types of events. Thank you very much for spending the time with me, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye!